This is Team Purple, and we're going to be showing you our Google stuff. On our team we have Tyler Hansen, Dan Thurston, Braden Johnson, and Diana Johnson. No relation. So on our spreadsheet, what we have set up so far is just some basic inputs that are linked to our form, including presenter names, team name for the person who's putting in the evaluation, comments for the speakers, and various grading sections. One issue that we ran into fairly early on was the fact that user input might be malicious by accident or on purpose, where you can see here 1e to the 44th for our additional comments, and again over in row 16 column N, 6e to the 24th for tech ID. And these two things are just some issues that we've had, and we've fixed those by restricting the allowed character amounts for each thing, so they can no longer have over the required amount that we've set forth. And in here we have one of our scripts that we've been working on is our automated email script, which once we get it working appropriately, it'll be able to pull all the different cells and rows that we deem important, and then package that up and send it in an email to the person, so they can have a set of showing all the ratings they've gotten for their presentation that they gave. In doing this, we're going to use triggers. And in here, for triggers, you can see that we can run different functions that we have in here through different events. And whether it's time-driven or from the spreadsheet, we can set up different variations. And this is likely how we're going to have our trigger to set up our email, so we know how to get through there. Going on, this is our edited form, and this is where we figured out how to provide different user inputs, and we're currently just waiting on the rubric to figure out exactly what Dr. Azerbad wants for the final grades, and different variations in our docs for this. Like, we don't know what kind of rating sections he wants, or if he doesn't want us to have a team for us to put in for ourselves, or he wants no tech IDs. So we're just mainly waiting on the rubric so we can know what the basic standards are. And finally, just to show an example that we've fixed some of the things, down in the additional comments section, we'll type in over the amount that's supposed to be registered in there, and it'll kick back different things that that'll show that we're not allowed to enter in that amount of comments. And as well, we have it required for every field to be filled out too. And so as you can see right there, it must be fewer than 100 characters. An example for our tech ID again, it'll show that it can only be 8 characters total, and if you try to do something else, it'll deny you. And that's what we have so far. Some of the things we're planning on doing still in the future is we're going to be messing around with our pivot table more. And as you can see right now, the way we have it set up is that it shows different ratings, and the main important part is right here, the grand total. And as you can see here, it's showing for each person, like column J shows the total at the very bottom. This person's only been rated one time, and they got all 5s. For row K, this person's been rated numerous times, and it shows their totals here for what they've gotten. And in the very far right M column, we shows the total ratings across the board for each rating section. So at the very first one, organization, you can see that everyone's gotten different scores, but the very total for our class, or the people who have been rated so far, are 30. And looking at the future, some of the things we're going to work on is get our email working better and set up those triggers as well. We're going to look at the pivot table and try to improve that and figure out different ways to use that. It's a little different than the Excel. And we're working on figuring out different ways to average the total scores for our usage to give total grades for people at the end. But we're also working on importing our own theme to see if we can create some kind of theme for our Google Forms spreadsheet as well. And beyond that, we're just going to split up different things for each person in our group to do once we figure out the rubric and the grading minimum standards for everything. And that's our presentation.